I'm Tom from Rideshare Reviews, and this is a look at earnings you can get from driving for Doordash. So if you're thinking about becoming a Dasher and driving for Doordash, you might be wondering what kind of earnings you can get, how much do they pay. So this is a look at just a sample of a little bit of data I have from the driving that I did for Doordash for this test. So taking a look at these different days, let's drill down. Here's a particular set of dashes that I did October 8th through the 14th. I did 2 dashes, and it'll give me the number of hours, 2.7 hours. And you can see that for that, I made about $57. So that works out to about $21 an hour before expenses. So after expenses, probably clearing maybe $18 an hour, something like that, because you're really not driving that far. I can try to drill down further. Let me see if it'll give me the mileage on here. I can go into a specific dash, and you can see the kinds of things I was delivering. 4 deliveries in basically about an hour for $26 there, and then another one where I did 3 deliveries in about an hour and 40 minutes for $31. So again, works out to about $21 an hour before expenses for that series of dashes. If you look at the next set that I did, it's $113.92 for 7.1 hours. So that's not as good. Some of them are pretty good. So I'm going to look into this one, for example. 12:09 p.m. to 1:10 p.m., about $23. So that's, $23 an hour before expenses. However, if I go into, something like this one, not too bad. It looks like about a little over 2 hours, around $40. Let's take a look at this though. This is 2 hours and it was $27. So there you're seeing not getting quite as much per hour out of these deliveries, probably only about a little less than $15 per hour. So for this whole time period, the $113.92, that works out to, I think, about $16 to $18 before all of my expenses. So not doing as great for those. What's the difference exactly? Looking at the higher value ones, like this, where it was about $23 an hour, and then going back to that other test set and looking at the overall, where it's about, again, about $21 an hour from those, you'll see both of those sets were actually done at lunchtime. And I was picking up a lot of orders, so 4 orders in an hour. So a very short time period, often doubling up. And they're not big orders for each one, but each they add up because I'm able to often do 2 orders at the same time if I'm working in a fairly crowded area. And I think the other difference is being, and this is all done in the San Francisco Bay Area, when you try to do deliveries at night, yeah, the orders are a little bit bigger. If we drill down into some of these, we can try to see that. Yeah, $10 or $11 orders for some of these, but you're going to hit a lot of traffic driving around, so that lowers your overall earnings. And you can see some of these, this was over an hour and it was only $9.80, or almost an hour, it was only $9.82. So if you end up with really bad traffic or delay at a restaurant, I don't think this one even was delayed, I think it was just a lot of traffic, then that can start to cut into your earnings. So really, I think the takeaways here are when you do Doordash and you do it fairly efficiently, and again, this is a small set of data, so if you average this out over a longer time period, what I've found is that you tend to make about $20 to $23 an hour before your expenses. And most of your dashes tend to be pretty local, so your expenses probably aren't that high. You're not driving very long distances like with an Uber or Lyft type of a service. So probably you're clearing maybe $18, $19 an hour on average driving for Doordash. But really the key is to find the time periods that are best for your particular area. And you wouldn't think that lunch would necessarily be a high earning period. But again, for me, because I could double up and I could do a lot of orders in a short time period there, lunch actually worked out great. Versus in my area, when I'm driving in the evening, you're going to have bigger orders, but it's going to be some traffic, and restaurants can get crowded or backed up, and there's just more dashers on the road. So it's not as high earnings. You can get down to maybe $16 or $18 an hour before, or even lower for that one delivery that was like, maybe $12 an hour on some of those. So again, around maybe $20 to $23 an hour after expenses, 18 to 19. Overall, pretty good, but just find the time periods that work best for your own schedule and for your area. And again, for me, that was doing lunch deliveries in a fairly busy and popular part of town. If you found this helpful in any way, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps.